Streets of Rage, or Bare Knuckle as I know it, has been in the news a lot recently with the fantastic 4th outing. So what better time is there to do a battle of the ports based upon the original game? So Bare Knuckle, or Streets of Rage if you prefer, was originally called D-SWAT, or Dragon SWAT to use the full name. As we all know, this was eventually changed. Not only was the game name different, but so were the characters. Blaze was originally a woman from Hong Kong called Pink Typhoon. Anyway, that's enough of that. We are here to talk about the game that was released, and that happened in August of 1991. Streets of Rage as we know it was Sega's answer to Final Fight, and what a great start it was. The game may have not been perfect, but when we consider it's running on a tiny 4 megabit cartridge, but provides 7 stages, awesome music, and 2-player action, we can forgive the relatively small sprites. What is odd though, is the frame rate at which this game runs. Practically all Mega Drive games, beside a few exceptions, run at 60 frames per second, but the original Streets of Rage runs at 30 frames per second. Now you know why the screen scrolls so horribly when the police backup attack is called. Now you may be thinking that the Mega CD version of Streets of Rage would be identical to the Mega Drive version, when the truth is, there are differences. The first difference is that even though this is the Japanese version of the game, it is actually called Streets of Rage and not Bare Knuckle. That's odd. The second point you'll notice is that the voices have all been changed. Some for the better and some for the worse. What is better though is that they all use the Mega CD's PCM audio, so they do sound clear. The third point of difference is that this Mega CD port slows down really badly in some very odd areas. As we know, the original game runs at a locked 30 frames per second, but this Mega CD version seems to fluctuate. It's not even slowing down when there's a lot on screen, but in strange cases, such as this. So yeah, besides the more clear voices, the Mega CD version has nothing going for it. So the next port we're going to take a look at is for the Sega Master System. This version comes to us from Ancient, I believe, in 1993. As you can see, the poor old Master System was aiming high with this title, but just couldn't bring us the same experience that was found on the Mega Drive. This game is now a single player only affair, and some music tracks are shortened or are moved to different parts of the game. Gameplay is also affected. The collision detection seems to be off, with the whole game having a floaty feel to it. Still, what is here can be considered reasonable for a Master System. The graphics are colourful and detailed, sound is pretty good, and all stages are present. Next up is the Game Gear version, which was actually released before the Master System version in 1992. Now you'd expect the Master System and Game Gear versions to be quite similar, but they're actually quite different games. This port was developed by Abadede. It's missing so much, such as no Adam, stages 2, 3 and 7 are gone, and it looks simpler than the Master System version in many ways. However, it does have points over the Master System version. It has animated backgrounds, some with parallax scrolling. It plays faster, has less sprite flicker, and shows 3 enemies at once, unlike the 2 of the Master System. It's even a 2-player game, as long as your friend has the same game and you own a link cable. So in some respects this is the better of the Sega 8-bit versions, but that doesn't mean it is as good as the Mega Drive original. Now here's something very special. Back before the days of smartphones, when Japanese phones were the envy of the world, Sega released a Java version of Bare Knuckle in Japan, China and Korea. This official Sega developed game was mighty impressive back in the day. Yes, it is cut down and the 7 stages are arranged somewhat. There's even a new samurai boss at the end of the factory stage. But at the time, you would have been the envy of all your friends if you had this. Sadly, the audio uses some sort of non-standard MIDI tracker, so there's a lot of out-of-place piano sounds which I believe should be percussion sounds. But from what we can hear, the soundtrack was probably really good. Sadly, we can only play as Axel or Blaze. However, Adam is present as a CPU-controlled character. By picking up a special Adam icon, Adam will join, allowing for some awesome 2-player action. The AI on Adam is rather good for a phone game of this age. You can also call upon your police buddy just like in the original game. One thing you couldn't do in the original were the special moves from Streets of Rage 2. Well, yeah, you've probably noticed it by now that the characters are from the second game. Many of the moves are here and they work rather well despite the odd controls. To walk is a standard affair, but to punch, you have to push the direction you are facing twice. Sounds really odd, and it is at first, but I soon got into it. I got into it so well that I reached Mr. X on my first playthrough. Other bonus points here include a short training mode and an online high score chart. And let's take a look at all those versions of Streets of Rage, or Bare Knuckle as I like to call it, running side by side.